What is up? AJ here, and today we are going to make the best vegan brownie you've ever had in your entire life. Is that hyperbole? Yes, it is, but you're still gonna love the brownie, and guess what? It's gonna be gluten-free, it's gonna be vegan, but don't click away because it's gonna be amazing. It's gonna blow your brain in the best possible way. Best part is that it's easy. Any dum-dum can make it, including this dum-dum. So let's get into making your very own vegan, gluten-free brownie that is also delicious. Here's the thing about vegan brownies. They can either come out kind of gummy or they can come out like crumbly and fall apart. And those both don't sound that good. So I scoured the internet and I found a really cool recipe, and after testing a few, the best one I found was from a person named Nora Cooks. So Nora Cooks, thanks for this recipe. You should maybe check her out. It's her recipe, I did not invent this, but I want to show you how to make it so that you can feel inspired. You're like, oh, Nora, she's a professional. If I can do it, you can also do it. First thing you gotta do, preheat your oven to 350 Fahrenheit. Next, you gotta prepare some flax eggs. Flax eggs, you're gonna do 4 tablespoons of flaxseed meal and about a half a cup of water. You gotta let that hang out for like 5 minutes, and it's gonna change into the consistency of an egg. Next thing we gotta do is we're gonna start getting the sugars in a big mixing bowl. So let's grab a big mixing bowl, something like this, bowl-shaped, big, and we are going to lead with some sugar. All right, so you're gonna do a cup of white sugar, cane sugar, ideally, okay? And a cup of brown sugar. Now, Becky, because I know you're watching, because you're awesome, you could also swap this out for coconut sugar, and it will work the same, or even maple sugar. Then we're gonna throw a cup of brown sugar in here as well. Now, if you're thinking, AJ, it's kind of a lot of sugar. You're eating a brownie. I mean, what did you expect? Brown sugar kind of gives your brownie that fudginess. So these aren't gonna be cakey brownies, because in my mind, a cakey brownie is just a chocolate cake that's small, right? This is an actual brownie, but it's gonna kind of hang out in between the super gooey fudgy and the cakey, which I think is kind of the perfect middle ground if you're trying to create a brownie for yourself. All right, so these sugars are here. Next, what we're going to do is we're gonna grab some vegan butter. Now, I'm gonna tell you to definitely use the Earth Balance brand if you can. Obviously, get what you can, but there's many times where I say use the Miyoko's brand, which is pretty good, but for whatever reason, every time I make the brownies with this, it comes out way better. So, use Earth Balance if you can get it. It's usually the one that's easier to get anyway, but don't feel like you need to upgrade to the Miyoko's just because it's spendier. All right, and so what we're gonna wanna get is about a half a cup. And what I'm gonna recommend you do is put it in a measuring cup like such, okay, a clean one. And we're gonna fill it till it's about half a cup filled, and then we're gonna microwave it in 30-second bursts in the microwave until this vegan butter is melted. You wanna do it in bursts so that it doesn't blow up. All right, I'm gonna throw this in the microwave, see if it's enough, and if not, we can always add more. All right, so we have our sugars, boom, mixed. We have right about a half a cup of Earth Balance vegan butter, and it is melted. So we're gonna add this into the sugars straight away and start mixing. And if your flax egg is ready, you could also add that as well. Mine is ready, so I'm gonna go ahead and add this, but you need it to be gloopy. So if you're not sure, this is your first time making it and you're feeling uncertain, just set a timer for 5 minutes and you'll be good to go. So we're gonna throw that in. See, this is how you know. See how it's gloopy? It's sticking in there. You want it to be the consistency of an egg. All right, now that you got these, you're gonna start mixing these together until it's nice and blended. Next, we're gonna throw a little bit of vanilla in here, about a tablespoon of vanilla. You could measure it or you could use your eyeball like me. All right, now you're going to throw a cup of all-purpose flour. I'm gonna use this gluten-free Bob's Red Mill 1-to-1, but you could just use normal if normal flour is cool with you. But this one does work really good. I have tested it, it tastes great. So we're gonna do about a cup of this. If you're gonna use normal flour, also you should probably sift it. With the gluten-free flour, I found it doesn't make as much of a difference. And then you're gonna do a cup of cocoa powder. So we have a cup of each of these in here. Let's also throw a little pinch of salt, maybe around a teaspoon. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna throw a teaspoon of baking powder in there as well. Let's use the whisk to get the flours in there nice and evenly distributed. And you see this form? This is the professional way to mix. All right, so now is when you're gonna add the mix-ins. So for our purposes and for ours, we're gonna do chocolate chips and we're gonna do some walnuts because I made a batch of these just the other day and everybody's like, where are the nuts? I want nuts in my brownies. And I'm like, listen, I'm testing. And they didn't care. So if you like nuts, great, put them in. If not, this is a very delicious recipe without it. So I'm gonna do walnuts. So you're gonna put half a cup and you're gonna fold it into here of the chocolate chips. And we're still gonna use a half a cup at the end to top it, but I'm actually gonna use my dark chocolate chips because I think it looks cuter. And the first rule is that the food's gotta look cute, because if it don't look cute, nobody's gonna taste it. It's just like dating, right? If you don't look cute, nobody can meet that amazing, wonderful spirit being that is you. Again, being careful not to over mix it, because then it kind of becomes gummy. And then with these walnuts, we're gonna do about the equivalent of a quarter of a cup to a half a cup. It's really your preference. I'm kind of just gonna eyeball a quarter of a cup here and see how that does me. All right, so we're gonna mix in some of these walnuts just because they were requested via my fam. So this is our brownie batter. This looks delicious. We could just eat this and your life would be happy, but you want brownies. So the next thing you need is a 7x11 brownie tin. And then you're gonna need to put some parchment paper on this as well. And the one thing I haven't tested is I haven't tested this in like an 8x8 or a 9x9, but I presume it would work. You just may have to adjust the time. All right, so we've got this nice and spread out. It's looking pretty great. At this point, we are going to sprinkle another half cup of chocolate chips along the top. Now, like I said before, these could be dark chocolate or they could be the like fake milk chocolate. I think they call them semi-sweet. So we're gonna throw about half a cup of these right along top. And these are just gonna help give it kind of a little chocolatey topping. It's gonna look great. This is it. These are going to go into the oven at 350 for 35 minutes, and then you gotta let them cool for 15 minutes in this tin. So they're gonna look potentially underdone, but just leave them. And the other thing is you're gonna be tempted to grab them out right away, but if you grab them out right away, what might end up happening is it might fall apart if it's still warm. So you really wanna give it like 15 to 20 minutes to just chill. It's honestly the hardest part is the waiting, but it's totally worth it if you do it, and then you can easily cut beautiful pieces of brownie. So I'm gonna throw this in the oven, let it chill, and when it's ready, I'm gonna have my wife come down. Maybe we'll see if she wants more brownie. We've been eating a lot of them lately, and see if she can taste test and see if they're good. I'll see you in a second. So we have our brownies here, beautifully plated. Look at that. I mean, don't tell me you won't want to reach through the screen and eat this right now. So now I have my beautiful, magical, magnificent fairy wife who's having a day. I'm not gonna say it's good or bad, it's just a day.
It's a day.
And see if a brownie helps lift her spirits.
Very cute.
You think it's cute?
Yes, they look cute. They look like fudgy, but a little bit flaky. Like pretty perfect.
Pretty perfect?
Yeah.
Only the best for you.
Melted chocolate chips on it.
You want to have a bite?
Sure. Does it matter which one?
Nope. All the pictures are taken, don't worry.
I thought you were going to mess with me as soon as I grabbed one, like, but not that.
Not that one! Is it helping?
They're so good.
They're so good. I can't believe how good they are.
They're like the perfect consistency, perfect amount of chocolate.
I like too how they're not cake brownies.
No.
But they're not like the ooey gooey fudge, which kind of tastes greasy sometimes. It's like right in the middle.
It is.
Right where it's supposed to be.
Yeah, 10 out of 10. You don't even have to ask.
It's a U out of U?
Wow.
Awesome. Might be a multiple brownie day.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for watching this video. If you like it, if you made it this far, maybe hit the like button. If you never want to miss another one, subscribe and hit the bell. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you. You're a magical, wonderful human. Have a good rest of your day, and I'll see you next time.